This is going to be a great day. I am Joseph. This is Input English. So what is a great day? What is a good day? What's a bad day? Let's discuss good days and bad days. In yesterday's video, our protagonist, Craig, was having a bad day. Not having a good day is a shorthand expression for having a depressed mood, being sad, or having low energy. As I said it in the video, he was in a funk. Most people experience changes in their mood, some days being better than others, in the way they feel about themselves and their circumstances. Sometimes these swings are severe and not related to things going on around that person. When we get into that phenomenon, we've entered the world of psychiatry, and these mood swings can be a psychiatric disorder that can be severe, can be life-threatening, and would likely require the treatment by professionals. These severe mood disorders are not the subject of our discussion today. What I'm talking about is the way people feel, mostly because of things going on around them. Again, yesterday's video, Craig was depressed because of what was going on in school. He was embarrassed that he didn't have the strength to do a pull-up. It's an interesting problem for people. We are social creatures. We need contact with other human beings, and if we feel isolated, then that's going to make us feel badly for sure. But not all contact with other people is positive, and that contact with other people can depress our mood depending upon the circumstances. Contact with other people is important to us to maintain our health, and in fact, the American College of Lifestyle Medicine identified social connectedness as one of their 6 pillars required for maintaining good health. So how do we deal with the negative things that get thrust upon us by other people? You will hear advice on this topic. Someone might tell you, don't let it get you down. Other advice might include, ignore what other people say. It's not important. It's none of your business what people say about you. Sometimes it's easier said than done to ignore negative things that are said about us that we become aware of. Now, indeed, there are bad things going on every day around the world. One might say it is an imperfect world, for sure. So how do we deal with these stresses of negative influences that come to us? Well, how about simple denial? Just ignore them. Just completely deny the existence of negative things. I don't think so. Denial can leave things unresolved, leaving it as a nagging problem that at some level in our mind, we are actually still thinking about it. We don't have control of our subconscious mind. So denial might be a bad idea. What are some other tools? Well, a couple come to mind. One is resilience. That is, acknowledge the problem, rest your mind on it, and analyze it to see if there's anything you can do about it. Here we get advice from the Stoic philosophers, which we can call the dichotomy of control. If something is bad, something is negative, we can either change it or not. And the advice we get is if we have no control over this bad thing, this negative influence, then we should ignore it, acknowledge it, and then brush it aside. Again, that's easier said than done. That's a skill that takes a lot of work. And then that leaves us with those things that are negative that we have control over. And there I like the quote that somebody told me many years ago, and that is, if you don't like something, change it. Another tool that I find very useful when facing negative things, negative influences, is the tool of gratitude. I try to be grateful for the good things I've received and use that as a bit of an antidote for these negative influences. Now, I don't want to be a Pollyanna. What's that? Well, Pollyanna was a book. It was made into a Disney movie many years ago. It starred a very young Haley Mills. And Pollyanna was an unusually optimistic young girl. People judged her to be unrealistically optimistic. So the name Pollyanna has become a shorthand for someone who is unreasonably optimistic. This character of Pollyanna might remind you of Candide, the book by Voltaire, in which the protagonist is being taught by Dr. Pangloss, and Dr. Pangloss is unreasonably optimistic in that story. If a strong wind blows a healthy tree and the tree bends, and then the wind stops, that healthy tree should spring back to its original position. That's a resilient tree. So if someone or something exerts a negative influence on me, I try to acknowledge that and then bounce back, recover from that stress. I try to be resilient. One of the ways I support that resiliency is with perspective. That is, if I encounter something negative, I try to judge it as part of a bigger picture. Is it important in my life? Is it important in the world? Will it be important to me a month from now? That perspective frequently will diffuse negative influences. Now, as I talk about these ideas, you know I'm not preaching to you. You know I'm not dictating what you have to do. No, this channel is for comprehensible input. This is for language development, and what I'm doing is sharing these ideas, because when we discuss ideas such as mood and stress and resiliency, we bring a whole new vocabulary into this channel. And it's a vocabulary that people need if they're going to have a robust understanding of the English language and be able to use it. But then again, you probably knew that, because the style of this channel doesn't include me telling you anything you have to do or preaching what should be done. It's not our style. I'm just sharing ideas. So where did all this come from? Two places. One, yesterday's video about Craig and his depressed mood, a mild reactive depression from what was going on at that time in his life. You saw how his dad put things in perspective and helped him with that, and it helped him feel better. The other place that this discussion came from is this channel. The Input English channel is doing much better than I expected. When I started this channel, it was a gigantic question mark. I had no idea if people would want to watch these videos, if people would want to spend their time learning in this way. I wasn't sure how much appeal there was going to be. And I don't think that was so much self-doubt as just ignorance of what people needed worldwide. I knew the raw data, that is 1.5 billion people in the world right now are trying to learn English. So the potential viewership is pretty big. The growth of the channel has been very encouraging. This week we attained the milestone of greater than 100,000 views. That seems like a pretty big number to me. I was happy to see that. Lots of people provided congratulations on that. Almost certainly today the subscribership will hit 4,000. And again, that seems like a very encouraging number. The other thing happening on the channel that is very encouraging is the comment section. Every day I am greeted with a lot of kind, thoughtful comments. The comment section has been very encouraging. I have not been barraged with negative comments, and I feel very fortunate that that is the case. So with all these good things happening on the channel and all the kind and thoughtful remarks that come in the comment section, I simply report to you that this gives me energy and this helps keep this channel going. I invite comments below, and if you like videos like this, be sure to click on this one next. See you soon.